Hey guys, Chris Vintomania back with another video. Yes, I did a video last night and I'm doing a video today. Some of you may have seen the video yesterday, do a Ticketmaster, and the fun that Mr. Big Red 1990, Alan Price and myself had, along with many others. Today was a new day, as Legacy's song used to say, it's a new day, and the Twitter was saying that the tickets would go on sale today at the same time, 10 o'clock, so obviously 3 p.m. our time. So obviously trying to rearrange work, trying to swap shifts kind of that way to get it covered was a bit of a nightmare, but thankfully I was able to do that and get it sorted. But unfortunately for myself and Alan, to no avail, and Haley as well, unfortunately. Chris, Mr. Big Red 1990, got his VIP to meet Kane, so really chuffed for him, because obviously Kane is his number one. This is like my Stone Cold Steve Austin, my Hulk Hogan, or everyone else's John Cena, Rock, Mr. Chaos Heel, The Rock, Mr. Lowaldo, CM Punk, that kind of thing. It's not every day you get to meet the person that you kind of really enjoy watching, and just every bit of memorabilia to do with, and you try and get, which Chris obviously does. So I'm majorly pleased for him. And then the other side of the pond, the four guys from England, Sean Blackford, Ollie Harper, Robbie Rebel, and it's me, Liam. I only know his YouTube name, or Twitter, whatever it is. They all managed to get Ric Flair, so stoked for them that they actually managed to get something. And Henry the Great also got to meet Kane as well, so probably get to see him while going in with Chris, even if he's queuing up for Kane or whatever. Obviously everyone got to get that, but again, no sign of the Undertaker. I even wore an Undertaker t-shirt today. Maybe it's the fact that I'm trying to get these tickets. Maybe I shouldn't try. No, it's not that. So yeah, and then things were coming out saying that it sold out in like 20 seconds and things. And it's just a case of miscommunication. One person saying this here, which leads to that person saying that there. And it's like a really bad Chinese whispers, is what it is. But it's better this time. But again, Saturday is, again, they said that all the VIP ones for that day had sold out, but there still will be general access, VIP for everyone on Saturday. So again, unfortunately I'll be working, so Chris and Alan are going to try and get me an Undertaker or Triple H ticket. So it'd be nice to get one. It's not the end of the world, I'm not gonna, I know yesterday my video, I was so annoyed, and that was just the emotion at the time, whereas I've kind of had a day to digest it, and kind of thought, well, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. I'll still queue up to meet other people, like say the Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Del Rio, that kind of thing. So it's not a case of I'll not be, I'll be throwing the head up and saying I'm not going to Axxess because Ticketmaster and Eyes Out Centre, you couldn't run a bath, or you couldn't organise a piss up in the brewery. But yeah, so that was just the case of that. So really tough for people who've actually got their tickets and are actually going to meet them, and not to be the eBay scalpers, like somebody selling an Undertaker ticket for £1,000. Obviously as well, did a wee pick up from the Silver Vision, just the CM Punk Best in the World Blu-ray for £10. Obviously still, I've been waiting for it to drop down in price, so decided to get it then. A lot of people obviously on YouTube are talking about Royal Rumble, the road to WrestleMania. I'd like to address something that happens before WrestleMania, which is the Hall of Fame. I know Sean Blackford's done a video on Mick Foley. Everyone, sorry, I need to wipe my nose here. Everyone kind of knows my feelings on Mick Foley, and the fact that I'm not his biggest fan. I was actually just watching that, oh my god, the top 50th moments, and obviously he was number one, being thrown off the cage by the Undertaker. I know a lot of people are Mick Foley fans. I think it's the fact that I really haven't been into the hardcore wrestling. I've never really watched a lot of ECW, so maybe that's why. Maybe it's just a case of I've been used to the more people that don't need to use the chairs, or they don't need to throw themselves off a cage or a cell, in order to make an impact, no pun intended. But for me, Mick Foley, people will say he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, and to some extent I agree, and some extent I don't agree. He could have done it next year whenever. I don't have to see him being inducted. I don't know why I don't like Mick Foley. I just, it's one of those things that you can't. It's like if you're a football fan, if you're a Man United supporter, you hate Liverpool, but it's the rivalry, that kind of thing. But there'll be another team like, say, Aston Villa or Chelsea that you hate, but you can't really put your finger on why you hate them. And this is the kind of thing with me and Mick Foley. He's been around the wrestling industry for quite some time, so kudos to him for that there. But I think it's just a fact, like with so many people, he comes out of retirement, like Terry Funk, comes out of retirement, goes into retirement, comes out, goes away, comes out, goes away, like last year we saw him at the Royal Rumble, and like him and Santino, and it's like, oh, just go away. We don't need to see you. I loved whenever the Shield interrupted him, and then Ryback came in. Where'd he go? He just ran away. He didn't try and defend himself or anything. So where are you, Mick Foley? But Bob Backlund as well. This Hall of Fame really needs to get really, really good and quick. If we are to have the rumours of DX going in, fantastic, all for that. Jake Roberts, all for that. Bruno Sammartino. See, Bob Backlund to me will be like the Nick Bockwinkel of his of that Hall of Fame class. It's a case of, I know a little bit about him, but not a lot. I know Chris was saying, like he watched that match with Bob Backlund and Bret Hart, and he put him to sleep. He's not going to be, like Mick Foley's going to be very, very fresh in the mind of like a lot of new wrestlers, like new wrestling fans, say like Hayley, who've been around since maybe 2007, 2008, roundabout. I can't remember whenever she's been a wrestling fan from. Me, I've been around since 1992, WrestleMania 8. So I've been around a while. The Battle Scars are showing. So I've seen Bob Backlund. Whenever he had his second match against Diesel. I've seen his match against Bret Hart, like whenever he was doing it. It's weird because whenever you look at him, from there down, like it's very much Damien Sandow with the robe and the towel all around. So obviously we're thinking who will induct who. A lot of people are saying Mick Foley, probably Terry Funk. I would imagine that Bob Backlund would probably be Bret Hart because of their match. Jake Roberts, if he goes in, I would love to see Stone Cold Steve Austin induct Jake Roberts. Obviously, Jake Roberts having that match with Stone Cold kind of put Stone Cold on the map with that Austin 316 says, I just whooped your ass, and that kind of thing from the King of the Ring. So it'd be great to see that, him induct Jake Roberts. If that was going to happen, obviously there's rumours about the celebrity one. Mr. T would be fantastic. So it would do, who would you see? Would you see maybe Piper induct him? Because obviously, we say like Brett and Sean didn't like each other, but they've kind of, came to be great friends. Maybe that'll happen with those two. Maybe it'll be Snuka, Bob Orton. We're hearing Lawrence Taylor, Cyndi Lauper. Obviously, it's Cyndi Lauper. It has to be assuming that it's Piper, really. Or Wendy Richter, inducting her, but I think Piper would probably be the main one. But the main question is, who is Dusty Rhodes going to induct this year? Because obviously Dusty Rhodes inducts somebody every year, without fail. If it's a case of, say it's Jake Roberts' Snake, that's nothing to do with, what Jake has in his trousers, so wipe that from your mind. Whether it's a case of it'll be then, Dusty Rhodes inducting them. But tag teams as well, like we normally get tag teams. If we get DX, brilliant. I would like to see the likes of Demolition. We could also have, Repo Man then as well, so but there's so many names that you can bat around, but Jake Roberts would be a main one for me. There's always been three that I've wanted to induct in the Hall of Fame, which are Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase, which is done, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, which is done, and I Jake the Snake Roberts, which needs to be done. I think this will probably be not the only time, but I think this will be the best time with him being in such great shape that he's in, with him doing the DDP yoga thing, very much like Scott Hall as well. So it'd be an ideal time for them to induct him, if that is what they're actually planning. I think again he'd be very over with the crowd. If you look at that time whenever he came back for Jericho's highlight reel, whenever Randy Orton was doing his legend killer gimmick, how over he was with the fans, and that was the last time we saw him, took the RKO from Orton. So yeah, that was great. The fans again responded to who he is, which is obviously what you need. There's not much point putting people in the Hall of Fame if the fans are going to go like, who? But I think that was maybe the case with Mil Mascaras. Maybe it's the case of, if that wasn't a relation of Del Rio's, would that have maybe done? I don't know. But time will tell, like with the Royal Rumble coming up on Sunday, which I'm looking forward to. I love the era of unpredictability, which kind of seems to be taken away this year, with the press leakage to do with Rock and Cena being at WrestleMania. But there's nothing to say that they can't change that. It's not set in stone. It's not saying this is final print, this is finalized, that kind of thing. Ideas can change all the time. I don't know how many times the winner of the Royal Rumble has probably been changed. I mean, look at SmackDown. Would we honestly have thought in a last man standing match that Alberto Del Rio would have won the World Heavyweight Championship from the Big Show? No, and he did. So there's a good chance that we could see the return of the Bushwhackers, and Bushwhacker Luke could win the Royal Rumble and head over to WrestleMania. But interesting time. Obviously a lot of people, probably myself included, will do where we go from the Royal Rumble to the Elimination Chamber and then to WrestleMania. But that's probably going to do it for me. I'm heading up to 12 minutes here, so I have to finish before 15 to try and do it on the phone. Otherwise YouTube says, oh, it's longer than 15 minutes. But yeah, make sure to check out a new guy on YouTube, Stuart Climson, I think his name is. I just typed that into YouTube. Chris showed me him. Just guy doing a lot of unboxings and stuff, so give me a shout out, so I'm repaying that. Thanks to all new subscribers. If you like this video, please like it, and yeah, please subscribe. And thanks to all the new subscribers. Make sure you're checking out other people's videos as well. If you're following me on Twitter, Vinto316, normally like them and then I'll show up there, like some Mr. Big Reds, Ollie Harper, Sean Blackford's, Robbie Rebels, Swanton Gurley, to name but a few. So yeah, thanks for listening, and if you want to leave a video response, please do. Remember, these are my thoughts, it's my thoughts, it'd be pretty boring if we all like the same thing. So yeah, thanks for listening and watching. Bye bye.